I had this idea that the distributive model is kind of like a weird version of Tinder. It's like a dating app, right? If the driver for a lot of practices, boy, we'd really like to hire veterinarians. It's kind of like Tinder where you always pick up the tab. So you're always paying for the date. I was never on Tinder. Tinder didn't exist when I was single. But my understanding is generally you either get matched and you're like, I'm out. I have the relationships that I need and I'm out. Or you get fed up, especially if you're always picking up the tab for the date and you'd be like, this is not working for me. And then you bounce out. There's not a lot of people who get on Tinder and stay on Tinder for a long time, is my understanding. And so is that true in your experience, not about Tinder, but about distributive model? Do you have practices that come in and they do it for a while and they kind of step back out? What is the lifespan of a participating hospital?
I think it's not quite like Tinder, but that is an interesting analogy.
Yeah, I came up with that myself, in case you didn't know. That's an Andy Roark exclusive there.
The only part of Tinder that I will say applies is that many practices do enter into these programs to attract students to come to their practice. And there's probably a little bit of dating that goes on, right?
Yeah, it seems that way to me, yeah.
Yeah. But as far as practices coming and going, there's no set pattern for it. When we started, we were recruiting practices like crazy, right? And then we got to this point where we had too many practices. And so we've actually in the last 3 years been reducing our number. Beyond that, what ends up happening is it's almost more like a job fit. Most of the time, they're only going to stay in if they really love having the students and the students are adding value. We do have quality control in place as well. We get student feedback constantly from these practices. If they're not a good site for teaching our students, then we'll take them out that way, and vice versa. When you have hundreds of students, you're going to have some that are not maybe the best behaving students, and unfortunately sometimes that causes practices to want to leave the system as well. But for the most part, once a practice is established and has a group of doctors and staff that really are bought into education, they're going to stay.